Golair, and welcome to the Loaf of Bread GAA podcast, slicing into the GAA of the past, present and future. Join me, Jason Keelan, as we cut into the largest loaf of bread known to mankind. On Slice 16 this week, I get to chat to a local lady with an outstanding career in both GAA and rugby. I chat with former Westmeath Camogie star and current Irish Sevens rugby icon, Katie Heffernan. We chat everything from early days as a scorer with Westmeath Camogie, taking on New Zealand's Michaela Blythe in rugby and Lucy McCartan at home, karaoke with Hannah Tyrrell, the Instagram fan page for her, borrowing her parents' van at the age of 15 to go get pizza, the hilarious story of the stolen bike in Dublin, and finding out now what birthday present got her awful abuse from her Irish rugby teammates. But first, as always, let's take a quick trip through Katie's homeland in County Westmeath, Bon Sultas. It's a relatively short history trip this week, as we go the very short road itself from County Offaly and the home of Anton Sullivan, back up to my own home county of Westmeath and the area that we visited already, of Turin. This area is the same as Westmeath Camogie star Sheila McGrath, whom we met back in Slice 6, along with her county teammates Pamela Greville, Caoimhe McCrossan and Rafe McCormack. Turin is the home of St Munna, and the local camogie club, St Munna's, won an incredible 13 titles in a row in Westmeath in the 1980s. The general area itself is around Rathconnell, Killucan, Killula, Kilpatrick and Killa, so plenty of peas in the parishes and baronies around the area. Katie and her siblings went to Lochagar National School nearby. Lochagar, Loch an Gar, means the Lake of the Hatching, due possibly to the ducks in the area. That lake appears on the school crest at Sculwara in the area where Katie attended. Not far away in the area is the townland of Knockdrin. Within the area is one of Ireland's finest mid-19th century castles, and the grounds simply known as Knockdrin Castle. Ferdinand von Brzezinski, president of DCU up until 2010, still owns part of the area inside the castle gates, but the majority today is owned by Noel and Valerie Moran of County Meath, who made their fortune through investments, primarily in England. They purchased the castle and surrounding areas recently for €10 million. As mentioned earlier, Turin is the home of St Munna, who is better known as St Fintan. He was a man who worked in both Ireland and Scotland, and founded the abbots at the area in Wexford that is today known as Totman, Chachmun, House of Mun. In Westmeath, Turin is located in the area of Totman also, something the two counties have in common today. In Scottish terminology, Mun was often referred to as Moyonog, which was then shortened to Munno. Putting Mo in front of a name showed favouritism and endearment. After much work and some rejection, including being rejected from the island of Iona after St Columba's death, Munna eventually died in the year 635. His death date, October 21st, is still celebrated as St Fintan's Day. Munna is buried in St Munna's Church, Kilmun, in Scotland. And so to Katie. The name Katie Heffernan comes up regularly in games she has played in as being a key figure. In her early minor camogie days at Westmeath, they were defeated by Dublin, scoring just 1-6. But of that 1-6, Katie scored 1-4 of the total. Despite representing her county in camogie and just being a general all-rounder in sport, it was rugby that brought her on the current sporting trajectory that she now currently finds herself. Katie's been part of the Irish Rugby 7 setup since around 2016, but has really become a central figure in the past number of years. The 2018 travelling squad to the Sydney Sevens that Katie was part of included names like Hannah Tyrrell, Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe and Stacey Flood, all of whom ply their trade in the 15s Unions team in the Six Nations and beyond. Katie was also part of the squad that won the Challenge Trophy at the Paris Sevens in the same year. And so to the lady herself. Chance for us now to meet Westmeath and Irish star Katie Heffernan.
Well, Jason, how's it going?
Katie, how are things?
Not too bad now.
How's all?
Yeah, all good, all quiet.
Oh yeah, sure, look, same as myself, yeah. Are you down home or where are you? Or
Yeah, I'm in Mullingar at the minute.
Oh grand, sure. You're only down the road, so.
Yeah, you're from Mullingar as well, are you?
Yeah, I was up in Dublin for the last 15 years or so. Still teaching up there in Chapel Izzard, and yeah, we moved back just under a year ago now, moved back home, so we're fairly near to each other.
Okay, grand.
Yeah. You're very good for coming on. I'll try not keep you too long. I've a few questions here that I just throw out, and you can try whatever you want. If you want to complain about your sister at the end, you might want to complain about her at the end. I'll just warn you about that. I'm a private school teacher, and I know that she is as well. So she may have had a hand in one or two of the questions at the end. So
Right.
you can ring her afterwards if you want. So the first question that I've asked everybody who's come on is the same one: who were your influences, GAA wise or otherwise, growing up?
I suppose for me, with a rugby background, one of my big influencers was Allison Miller.
Oh yeah.
She's originally from Laois, and she's the winger for Ireland. She's like, she's an absolute savage player, first and foremost. But I got to meet her a few times, and the girls who call her Miller Stories, like she's so amount of stories, she's the moment to talk. But on the rugby side, like she was just such an inspiration. She's a bit like myself, came from a farming background, and she didn't come from like a big club, if you get me. She paved her way through. She actually didn't get selected for Leinster. She went to Connacht and paved her way through there. So I just found that very inspiration. But I suppose with the GAA, like any young camogie player in Westmeath, Pamela Greville was always a big hero of mine. We used to say we should take down the Joe Dolan statue and put one of Pam.
Oh my God! I'm definitely going to text that to her, because she was on last week. So I definitely going to send that to her.
Yeah. She was with the camogie girls. Like everyone in Westmeath, every young camogie player just wanted to be Pam, wanted to play with her, wanted to be her. Like every team she was on, she just won. So she was definitely a hero of mine growing up. Anyways.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah. And what was the camogie career like with Westmeath? I know it's very much rugby now, but what was it like? What's your standout memories from it?
Yeah, it was great. Like I enjoyed every single minute of it. A standout moment, geez, I actually don't know. Like it was just pure and utter crack. Like I played like from under 14s all the way up to senior. I think I only played a year or two. We were actually junior at the time, and now the girls are senior. But I loved it. It was great to see the girls get on so well and get to the senior. I'm trying to think now of a standout moment, and I just can't. Like
your name kept popping up constantly. Like anytime you'd look up when you were playing, there was a minor final you lost against Dublin, but the team scored 1-6 and you scored 1-4. So like it was just constantly, Katie Heffernan knocks over this free, Katie Heffernan knocks over this one. It was just like, it's just a sport you obviously took to very quickly.
Oh yeah, like our whole family was camogie and hurling orientated. Like I remember being probably 12 or 13, going down to St. Munis, and the first person you'd meet would be a family member.
Yeah.
Like I was playing with my sisters, playing with my cousins. My aunties were training us. My uncle was over us for the seniors a few years. So like I was going down to the pitch to a family gathering and not to training really. And that's what really kind of brought me on. Like I just loved the idea of playing with your family, and even like the girls you grew up with, your next door neighbour, all that sort of stuff. And as I got older, and now that I'm playing rugby, like GAA players really take that for granted. It's a special moment to play alongside your family members or your friends, and it's something a lot of people take for granted, and that's one part I do miss now.
Yeah.
Is playing with the fam.
Yeah. Since you mentioned Pam, actually, what was it like playing under Johnny Greville? Is he as mental as?
Oh, it was brilliant. I was there for Johnny's first year, and like straight away he just changed the whole thing around. Like he was just so professional, so organised, so fair. Like he'd no favourites. He just came in, he did his job, he brought all the girls with him. We had the crack, and like he just knew his stuff. I was so impressed by him, and like he is one of the main reasons why Westmeath Camogie is where they are today.
Yeah.
it is a bit unfortunate that he's after stepping down, but look, he gave his heart, blood and soul to Westmeath, and we couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah. Do you find much of a crossover in the skills, like considering that I suppose the camogie is as much non-contact as possible, and then you're going playing sevens where it's literally you're clearing out rucks, every couple of seconds. So is there much of a crossover in the skills, or?
Yeah, like I always say, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for my camogie or my football background. Like even simple skills like your hand-eye coordination, your physicality, your fitness, your want to win. Like it just made me so competitive and like I just always wanted to win. I always wanted to be part of every single team, and a lot of skills do cross over, like your fitness, your hand-eye coordination, your acceleration, everything. And you know what, I honestly do think that there is a lot of if a lot more camogie players tried sevens, it'd be great.
Yeah, when you were out in San Fran at the 2018 sevens, did you see it as a missed opportunity to go further, or were New Zealand just literally unbeatable? Like I know they hammered G, and then they went on to win the final to 0, I think, against France. But you took a fairly big scalp against Spain. Was it a huge success, or did you think we could have gone a step further?
The girls, I think the girls did very, very well. The World Cup is a bit different in that if you win, you stay on, and if you lose, you're kind of out of it. So all our focus building up to the World Cup was our first game against England, and that's really what we did. Like we just took one game as is, bet England, and then we met Spain. And look, in rugby, and especially sevens rugby, anything can happen. And unfortunately, Spain got the better of us. But the girls gave everything they could, and we were just so unfortunate. It wasn't to be our day, unfortunately.
Yeah. Where's I suppose since in all your travels, do you get to see any of the places that you travel to, or is it just a case of we're there for a job?
Oh no, like say if we have a tournament on the weekend, well then we'd go, a week or two before, depending where it is. So we'd go for a week before just to get, our body clock right, get ourselves used to the weather. And also to do a bit of sightseeing. So what the RFU try to do is try to manage our schedule in other countries as it will be here in Dublin. So normally what we do is we kind of gym and train in the mornings, and then we have the evenings to go off and explore, do loads of things. So we're not locked up in our rooms now or anything. We're allowed to go out. But like it's fantastic. It's a fantastic opportunity to play with your country and to travel the world, and we do see a good bit, and we're so lucky that way. But first and foremost, we have a job to do, and it all does come down to that tournament, and everything else on top of that is a bonus.
And where is your favorite destinations? Well, since I'm massive into traveling as well, you've been to like my favorite places of like Japan, Australia, Dubai. Have you a particular favorite, or?
Yeah. I like Canada. I really do like Canada. Yeah. It's a cool place. But I think for me, my favorite is probably Sydney. Because my sister's living over there. Yeah. It's great to see her, and just the lifestyle. Like it's brilliant. I spent actually 3 months over there, and the IRFU sent me and 2 other girls over. There was a uni sevens on, and we were in the Gold Coast for 3 months.
Oh, so wait, Aon wasn't it?
Yeah, the Aon series. We went for the first time. It was brilliant. Like, sure, we were doing a skydive and scuba diving at the beach every day, playing a bit of rugby. It was fantastic.
I think your Instagram post on that actually was, I wonder, did they understand me? Did you have any issues with it?
Yeah, the Australian girls kept making us say, was it 33 and a third? They were just making an absolute mockery out of us, and so it was me. I went, a girl from Dublin and a girl from Fermanagh.
Well, see, a fair mix of accents anyway.
There was, yeah, but they said that they could understand the girl from Fermanagh better than they could understand me. So I felt a bit. I don't know what. Yeah, it was funny. Now it was funny.
You took your aggression out on the pitch, I'm sure, afterwards. So. Do you find it harder coming up in training or in matches against like Michaela Blythe of New Zealand, or is Lucy McCartan more violent or vicious? Who would you find more difficult to come up against?
Oh, yeah, Lucy now, she's really rough.
Yeah.
I know. Look, I suppose it was great to play again, Lucy, and even play with her.
Yeah.
It prepared me well for going on to the Irish squad, I suppose. I know. Look, there's great talent in Westmeath, and you know, going on to the world stage, it was just incredible. Like, you know, playing against the best players, you know, it only makes me better, and you know, it's somewhere. You know, I really want to be one of the top players on the series, and it's great to know where the level is and know where you have to be.
Yeah, I suppose Lucy also has a hurl in her hand, which is probably a bit of an advantage, I suppose, as well. So you also you have your own Instagram fan page. What in the name of God is that all about?
Jesus. Yeah, Sophie Donnelly now, she's going to get a text after this.
Okay.
I can't really remember the story behind it, but basically we were in Leaving Cert and Instagram was only a new thing at the time, and I thought it was just pure and utter nonsense the way people were just putting up photos, and all the girls were on it and they're telling me, oh, you know, this is the new thing, and I just didn't get in behind it. So anyways, what the girls did, they made a fan page for me. So then I had to join it to see what the girls were doing and posting, and yeah, they held that over me and made a good joke out of it now.
Yeah. Is it still running? Do you get much action on it, or?
Oh God, Sophie's the one behind it now. Thankfully, she settled it down, and it's been quiet for the last number of years.
Okay, that's fair enough. I was just wondering. I might tag it when we put this up, you know, get it going again, just in case.
Please
so
don't. I have to report it.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you still play any of the tag rugby, or is that just unfair on the people you're playing against?
No, well, obviously we can't now at the minute.
Yeah.
But no, the tag rugby is normally during the summer, and that's when our busiest time is.
Oh, okay.
I'd absolutely love to now.
Yeah.
But just unfortunately, you can't be at two places at once. And, you know, I just have to think of my priorities. But it's a fantastic game, and in fairness to the rugby club, like they've done so well to get so many players out playing it. You know, it's a great game, and I do miss it now.
Yeah, it's class. I loved it up in Dublin as well. Apparently the one in Mullingar here is a brilliant setup as well. So I'm dying to see if my dodgy knees will hold up. Yeah, that'd be it'd be interesting to see. Oh, I'll be all right. Yeah. Did 15s ever come across in your career, or was it just always the 7s?
No, like I started off playing 15s at Mullingar.
Yeah.
And then I played like underage 15s, and my first year or two with the 7s, I got brought into the 15s camp just to kind of see how I get on and whatever. But you know, I preferred the 7s, and at the minute the 7s is where I want to be at. Hopefully down the line and in a few years I will break into the 15s team. It is a fantastic sport, and you know, the Irish girls at the minute, they're doing well. So definitely, you know, I have one eye on it, but at the minute I'm kind of happy enough to play 7s.
Yeah, some serious talent coming through as well. The 15s, like see Bevan Parsons, you know, in her Leaving Cert, essentially taking the Six Nations by storm as well. Yeah. So yeah, there's some serious talent.
Yeah, I suppose at the minute we're trying to, the IRFU are trying to cross over players. So you're not just a 7s player, you're not just a 15s. So the likes of Hannah Turlin, Louise Galvin, you know, they've done very well. And even Senna, they've both come from 7s or 15s background, and you kind of see that correlation between two teams. And even Bevan, you know, like she's in with the 7s a few days a week. And, you know, if we could just get to that place where it's just one combined women's team rather than a 7s and a 15s, it would only benefit everyone. Personally, that's what I think anyway.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Who would be might put you on the spot, who would be the toughest 7s player you've come up against in your time? You've probably come up against a rake of them, but
yeah, I'd probably say Chloe Pell, probably.
Okay.
She one of the French girls.
Yeah.
She's just brilliant. Like, she's brilliant. She's just so clever. If you'd ever watched her play, like, she's just everywhere on the field. You know, she can tackle, she can offload, she can score tries, she can turn over the ball, she can do everything. She's definitely one of the players that I look up to, and she'd be in a similar position from me. And when you look up and you see her running at you, you know, you're fairly you don't know what to do, like. But no, she's great. And in fairness, we do have a good relationship with the French. We're either over Paris or they're in Dublin, and you know, you get to build a friendship. Really, it's not just a competitive game. You get to know the girls, and you know, she's a lovely girl off the field.
Yeah.
Put that in there. But no, as a rugby player, she's one of my heroes now.
Okay, and I suppose ask you the same kind of question in the camogie career. Who was the toughest ones you came up against? Could be your own teammates in some ways.
One of the toughest. Jeez.
Sure, there's a memory of someone battering you a train and coming back to you, and you're like, "This is my chance."
Well, Pam actually battered me a train one day. Took me out of it with a tackle bag.
That probably wouldn't be the first person to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the Harney team. You know.
Okay.
They're a great side. They still are. Every single one of them were fantastic players. You know, they're well able to you know, the first touch, striking. They were just everywhere. They were a great team, and they were always probably one team that I enjoyed playing. And I'd say Quiva McCrossan is in there as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to mark her once or twice, and I just couldn't keep up with her. She was everywhere, like.
Yeah. I think
in there as well.
she had issues remembering where the team holiday in 2019 was. That was her biggest thing when she came on the podcast. She couldn't remember where it was. So yeah, she might be good on the field, but yeah, she's got some memory issues. I think you might have hit her too hard at some stage. So have you any particular celebration nights you can remember with the camogie or the sevens to stand out?
Yeah, there's one night in Japan now that's sticking out with me. Unfortunately, the tournament didn't actually go as well as we thought we would. And what the typical Irish do is you drown your sorrows. So that's what we done anyways. We were so after the tournament there's usually like a function, and in Japan there was obviously a function and a free bar. So that wasn't really a great mix with the Irish now. we were the last to leave. And then there was
was that in Tokyo or?
But there was no, it was in a place called Kitajaku.
Okay.
Don't ask me to spell it. I have no idea. But this is where the tournament was, anyways. And there was a karaoke bar after, and we kind of went down and took over. I suppose again we were the last to leave, so the whole place had shut down. And one of the Irish girls, Stacey, she connected her phone to the speakers, and so we were playing, you know, like the Fields of Athenry and everything, and we like the whole place just hopping around. So that was probably one of the maddest nights we had now in Japan.
Have you a song of choice for karaoke? Surely you have to give Joe Dolan a bash somewhere.
Yeah, no, I did. Myself and Bullsy sang One Direction. Is what the song called? I can't remember. It was one of the One Direction songs, anyways. Me and one of the girls who sang, or else me and Hannah Terrell would sing Love Story. So
okay,
they're my go-to.
Okay, so yeah, you have to give a rendition of Joe Dolan. So after, the last part, I suppose, second last part, I suppose, is a unique one because I won't say who it was. We'll just call her L. Heffernan just to make it anonymous. She may have sent on some stories when, of course, she's a primary teacher and same as I am. So I got in touch with her. I just said any interesting stories about Katie, and my phone was hopping for about the next hour. It was text, and then it was like, oh no, this story is too good, I need to put in a voice message. So I was like, okay, right, grand. So this is the Heffernan family time section, we're going to call it. There's a couple of things here I want to run by you. So the first one, I
actually have to leave. Sorry,
that's okay.
I have to go now.
That's all right. That's fine. Yeah. L. Heffernan has said that you are a qualified barber. How did that come about?
Oh God. Yeah, sure. I do go around telling people I'm a qualified barber.
Yeah.
during lockdown, anyways, my mum found a barber course online, and it was €9.
Deadly.
And it was probably the best and the worst €9 I ever spent. I have a lot of people plaguing me now for a haircut, but I wouldn't say I'm a professional in any way. I can do the basic, like a 1 or 2 on the side and the scissors on top. So the first few haircuts I done, I did the 1 and the 2 and the scissors on top, and it came out all right. So I started to get a bit brave, and I said, I should try a fade. So unfortunately, my boyfriend was my guinea pig, and I said I try a fade on him. So I was watching YouTube. I had YouTube on my phone. I was pausing it. I was going to, do his hair, going back, playing it. But unfortunately, by the end of it, your man on YouTube looked very different to what I've done. So I've kind of stopped doing fades, and I'm just doing the 1 number around the sides.
Okay, yeah, good skill to have at first. Yeah, my brother actually did the same, and he's been cutting mine for the past year now. So it's a handy skill to have. It's the best €9 you ever spent, I'd say. So the second one is a true or false one. So true or false? When you were 15 or so, you and your brother Padraig stole your parents' van while they were away, went to Kalukin to get pizza, and then sent the whole thing on Snapchat to your mother, who went mental.
True, unfortunately, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can barely remember that story now, but yeah, Mum and Dad were away, and Laura, the big sister, was supposed to be minding us. She didn't do a great job. She let us go hungry, so we had to take it upon ourselves to feed ourselves. So the van was just sitting there, the keys was in it. We weren't going to meet a guard between Chorin and Kalukin. But yeah, Mum hit the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, an understatement.
Yeah, Laura even sent me on the picture. She still has it. So I've seen the evidence just to prove that it is true. So the third one, no, it's okay. I won't show the pictures anyway. Don't worry. The third one, then Laura mentioned you got a very interesting birthday present that you got a lot of slagging from your teammates over. Do you remember what the birthday present was?
Something with 4 legs, was it?
It was a couple of things with 4 legs. Yeah.
Yeah. So my birthday was in September. The pandemic, and I was at home, and my mum was like, right, what do you want for your birthday? So I kind of thought about it for a while, and I said, sure, I'll get a calf. Why not? From a farming background, and I kind of just said it as passing. I didn't think anything of it, and sure, Dad came in and he loved the idea. He said, yeah, no bother, we'll get you a calf. So I at the time I got 3 of them, and my brother got 2, and they're doing well. And then I kind of, I grew to love it, and then I'm after going and buying 2 more. So my hands full. But a lot of the girls I play with will be fierce townies and fierce dubs.
Yeah.
So they couldn't understand it. I was getting fierce slagging off them, and they couldn't understand that I was getting a calf for my birthday and what I was going to do with it.
That's brilliant. Yeah,
look, I love it. I love it.
That's class. Yeah. Laura's main thing was she got awful abuse off the Dublin girls, which I gathered you would have, right. The last, the second last one is Laura mentioned you had an incident in Kevin Street Garda Station.
Oh, she's dead.
Oh, she is. I'd say,
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. So
a lot of the country actually would know the story, bit of the story, because we all saw the cargo thing full of the bikes.
Yeah, it was. I think it was September 19th, 2019. I was over my auntie's house, and there was a bike there, brand new racing bike. But my auntie, she actually hurt her back, so she never got to use the bike. So anyways, I said to her, I was looking for a bike, wanted to go to college around Dublin, and she said, yeah, go on, take it. And I was like a child. This is a brand new toy to me. I was absolutely buzzing. So it was that Monday, I only got the bike, I'd say about 2 days. That Monday, anyways, I went on my way, cycled to college. The plastic was still on the handlebars and everything. So cycled to college, locked it outside the college, went in, and then at 1 o'clock I came back out and the bike was gone. And to be honest, I didn't know to laugh or to cry. I was walking up and down like a mad woman looking for this bike. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I went back into the college anyways, and there was a security just hub there at the door. And I said, look, my bike's after been stolen. And the security lad, like, he didn't even lift his head. He was just like, yeah, and yeah, he was like, definitely heard this story before. Apparently, it's a common thing to get your bike stolen in Dublin, which I didn't know, obviously. So he said there was nothing he could do, that I'd have to go to the Garda station to report the stolen bike. So anyways, off I went to Kevin Street Garda station. It was just behind DIT. And same thing, went into the station, and I was talking to the guard, and I was like, here, my bike's after been stolen. And he just started laughing.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you're in Dublin, like, you know, that's what happened. And I think he was just entertaining me at the time. You know, he pulled out his notebook and he was like, can I get your name, description of the bike? And he said he'd follow it up. And heard nothing then for a few months. Nothing. And then anyways, it was December I think it was. My dad actually WhatsApped me an article that there was a container found in Dublin Port full of bikes. And he was just sneering. He was like, oh, your bike's hardly in there. And like, then everyone started tagging me in the article and sending it to me, being like, oh, I wonder is your bike in there? Because everyone had heard about the bike. I was just fuming like with it. And so anyways, I said, you know, I'll chance my arm. Went back down to Kevin Street Garda station to follow up. And first of all, the guards never actually reported my stolen bike,
Jesus.
So it wasn't on the system. So I had to go do that all over again. And then about a week or two later, I got a phone call from a guard to say that they had found a bike that matches my description, and if I'd come in and verify it was mine. So I don't think I told anyone because I didn't want to get my hopes up. But actually that morning, one of my housemates, Anna, we were going, and Molly, we were going to get coffee. And I said, right, I'll meet you there. So I went to the Garda station anyways and chatting to a guard, and turns out it was my bike, so I got mine back. So anyways, I was cycling out of the Garda station going to the coffee shop, and I was literally on the middle of the road waving at the girls, being like, look what I got back. And the girls, like, their jaw physically hit the floor. Like, no one could believe it at all that I got the bike back.
That is brilliant.
And, you know, like, all the Dublin girls were just like, what? How? I have it under lock and key now.
Brilliant, yeah.
Was
the plastic still on the handles, or was the plastic gone?
Unfortunately, no, that was gone.
Deadly. That's I didn't actually know the end of that story that you got it back. I might have missed it in Laura's message, or yeah, that's brilliant though. It's, you're one of the first humans, I'd say, in history in Dublin to get their bike back. That never happens.
Oh, yeah.
From my hearing anyway.
No one could believe it. Like,
yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, the last one that Laura didn't mention this in a straight kind of forward way, but I gathered it was kind of maybe a jealous sister type thing. But she said you have medals and achievements in basketball, athletics, GAA, soccer, camogie. She was basically implying, is there any sport that you're just shit at?
Yeah, not really, I suppose.
Okay, good.
I know. I just chanced my arm and tried everything. I was terrible at basketball. I played with Loretto, and Miss O'Keefe used to always say to me, gentle off the backboard. There's absolutely nothing gentle about me, like. And you know, it was just my way to get out of class, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just loved it. I didn't care if I had a big ball or small ball or hurl, whatever it was. I wanted to play it, and yeah, it was just great crack to get out of class, I suppose.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Pass it on to Laura. So you're deadly at all the sports. That's probably what you wanted to know. So there's one last question, but I don't know if it hugely applies to you. But I ask everybody: did you ever win anything in any GAA club lotto draw?
Won us to an Easter draw, and I won a box of biscuits.
Lovely.
1 year.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll put that on the list. I've had everything from a sheep to nothing, which is the most common answer, to Zach Maradi, the Leitrim hurler, actually won 4 grand on his one. So I'll add your tin of biscuits second, third, just behind the sheep, actually. The sheep is going in second. So have to keep that one. The last part is a quick fire round if you're happy to have a go at it, Katie. It's I've mixed it up a tiny bit just to include the rugby stuff as well. So now some of the answers are not that quick fire, so don't feel like you have to answer immediately. Some people take a bit longer. So the first one then, this can apply rugby or GA, doesn't matter. What's the best ground you've ever played on?
Best ground, probably the Sydney Allianz Stadium in Sydney.
Okay. Your least favourite ground?
Clonkill.
Oh, I knew something like that was going to come out. Yeah. Are you more in camogie style? Would you be more for the short puck out or drive it long?
Oh, drive it long into the square.
Okay. As a supporter, would you prefer the tea and the ham sandwiches or the pre-match pub?
The tea and the sandwiches.
Yep. You have a choice of one out of the GAA favourites: hats, flags, scarves, or headbands.
Headbands.
Headbands. Okay. Would you be more of a Marty Morrissey or Des Cahill fan?
Oh, Marty. The Marty Party.
Marty Party. Who's your favourite pundit on any sport, male or female?
Oh, it has to be Joe Brawley.
Joe Brawley. Okay. The best sevens player you've ever come up against? Well, I suppose you could have half answered that, but
yeah, Chloe Powell.
Chloe Powell. The funniest or strangest thing that's ever been shouted at you from a sideline by anybody?
Jesus. It was something got to do with my boots. I think it was you'd stop traffic with them football boots.
Okay, half an hour down. That's a good one. I'll add that to the list. So definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I had these bright orange boots, and I thought I was unreal. Yeah, I think someone shouted that at me.
Okay, deadly. I'll take that one. Yeah. If you could transfer in one player for the Ireland Sevens team, who would you bring in?
Portia Woodman.
Okay. When you were in your camogie days, who was your hurl of choice? Did you have a favourite hurl maker?
Yeah, Nulty. Nulty. He's not actually a neighbour of ours. He's from Clonkill. You used to go down to him and I'd have a list. I'd be like, I want the canning head, size 33, heavy but not too heavy, and he'd get it right all the time.
Perfect. Okay. Your favourite boots?
Adidas.
Studs or moles?
Moles.
In camogie, would you be for a sweeper or no sweeper?
Start the game off 15 on 15 and see how it goes.
Okay, good answer. Yeah. Outside of rugby and the GAA, would you have a favourite sport?
I like the AFL. I think that's cool. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'd
very similar, I suppose. It's kind of a combination of football and rugby.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, I had Ailish Considine on actually as well. I was chatting to her the other day. So yeah. So she was kind of saying the same. Yeah. The best holiday you've ever been on?
Oh, Porto with the girls. I think 7 or 8 of the rugby girls went to Porto for like 3 or 4 days straight after we were in Ukraine, I think. Yeah, that was a good holiday.
How did you find the Ukraine?
Different.
Yeah. They were very friendly, in fairness.
We weren't there for that long. Yeah, we actually weren't there for that long. I think we were there for about 3 or 4 days. We literally flew in, played a tournament, and flew back out. But yeah, it was grand. It was okay.
Cool, yeah. And the last question then, I suppose I'll double up this question. The best GAA player ever in your lifetime?
Probably Pamela Gravel.
Oh God, I can't accept that. Her head will explode. And who would be the best sevens player in your lifetime?
Lucy Mulhall.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I let it out a bit about Pam because I'd say now her head will definitely explode. The Gravels get enough tagging and stuff at this stage. So
right,
Katie,
I'll change my answer to
brilliant.
To Sheila McGrath.
Sheila McGrath. Okay, Sheila told one of the
neighbor.
best. She told one of the best stories that night. It's the one I use as like the clip for promoting their one about they were out after a game and she went drinking with a lad who turned out to be the referee from Kildare, who was refereeing Westmeath versus Kilkenny 2 days later, and I was falling around the place laughing, listening to it. So yeah, they were serious crack having them on. So yeah, I'll tag Sheila in it. So yeah, Katie, I suppose you probably want to go and ring Laura and have a few words with her. So thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and the best of luck with the sevens and everything that's coming up for you. I hope eventually when it gets back to normal that see you back on the telly very soon again.
Thanks very much, Jason.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you soon. Mind yourself.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Take it easy. Mind yourself. Good luck. Bye. Coming up next week on the Loaf of Bread GA podcast, we cut into our next slice.
She got the first goal, and like it was just like, it's exactly what we had needed. And I think maybe she got like 1-3 or 1-4. I think, you know, really very, very quickly.
She was unstoppable that day.
Aye, completely. And I remember her Snapchatting me the night before of like her eating this chippy, and I was like, Roasty, what are you doing? Like, eat something healthy, not a big dirty cheese and curry.
It obviously worked for her pretty well. Like she
like, you know, no, she's full of crack as well. Like.
On Slice 17 next week, I had the crack and the chats with 2 stars of Lochiel and Antrim Camogie in Emer Boyle and Christine Laverty. We chat everything from winning 7 in a row, Christine's red card against Ballycastle, the toughest opponents they face, and answering the ultimate question: how good can Roisin McCormack play after eating curry chips the night before a game? This and much, much more with the 2 legends. Until then, we'll leave you with this great quote from one Wexford fan in 1996. We've won 1 All-Ireland title in a row. Slánigi.